Well, there are different stages of learning as a teenager, right? There's the part where you just need information or ravenous for it. So I remember when I was that age, 15 or 16 or something, and it's just like, yeah. And so at that age, like, I just asked everyone for music, and also the internet is like, you can listen to music for free. So I didn't think about it. I listened to everything I could find for free, right? And that was huge. And so when the kids want information, you want to feel it, and you should give them as much, not just like stacks of information, but like play them things and enable them to extract information. Like give them sources of information, not information itself. Does that make sense?
It does. Actually, I actually started to play music for a lot of my kids, and some of them I think it's a little bit over their heads right now, but they sound they can wrap their heads around it. But I do have a kid who has perfect pitch. Who I've been teaching saxophone much since he's playing like Donna Lee and stuff. Like that kind of where he has incredible ears, and he had a hard time figuring your stuff out, but he loves the challenge.
Great.
So that's like, I know it's possible at that age. That's the coolest thing to me. I want to start like trying to use. I've been watching a lot of those June Lee videos where you dissect your harmony. I want to like write those into like warm up chorales, like the music groups. Because I mean, there's a lot of things that like where the movement is not that there's not these crazy jumps. It's just chromatic.
Chromatic, yeah.
I feel like they can probably handle that.
Yeah. Like I think it's so much more important to get them to when you play the music, instead of trying to encourage them to informationalize it, just get them to talk about it and talk about it to them. You say so. Well, this is something that my mum used to do when she was a teacher. She used to go out to 20s. She used to play these people music of all kinds. You know, so from really strange classical music to amazing rock and roll, funk, African music, yeah, everything like gospel, a cappella, folk songs, and she got them to do a bunch of like emotional exercises. It was like, close your eyes, put the pen on paper and see where your pen takes you. Or write a list of 10 adjectives that you think of while listening to this. Or, you know, try and, like draw a map of the shape of the tune and then make X's where you felt the most excited. You know, and all this kind of stuff. And then they're going to go back and listen to it again. And what they'll take away from that is not, now I know what a sharp 11 does to a chord. Right. It's like, now I know how it feels to build up to the climax of that song. And they're going to want to listen to it themselves and unpack it for themselves.
So like after they have that knowledge, that's the time like later on to say, hey, by the way, when you put like this sound that you're hearing, and then kind of like let them know, like so the sound that you always like associate this with, that's a sharp 11. And kind of letting them, like,
but like that's the easy bit as a teacher.
Right.
The hard bit as a teacher is the trust of the student, enabling them to find it themselves. It's really important. So some students will ask you for information, and you should give them the information when they ask for it. But beware of the people for whom the information, over whose head the information goes, because it's like a difficult thing. And I can relate to, when I was in school and there was a subject like science or something that I wasn't super engaged with, there was a point where the information started to go over my head and I just disengaged. And that is the most important job of a teacher at that stage, is to, instead of trying to make it further away from them and inspire them to get that distance, bring it closer to them and make them realize why it's part of their life and why it should be part of their life. So I'd encourage you to, first of all, think emotionally about music yourself enough to articulate it to them, and then just give them this diet of exciting stuff, and then talk and listen, and then describe, then say, so this is how it works, and go and play it for yourself. Explore how this sound makes you feel in this key or this key or this key, because all the keys are different. And what that, when these kids leave school, they'll be left with a yearning to listen to music and experience it, not the yearning to gather more and more knowledge, because like that's what every other teacher will do in their school.
Yeah,
I believe that. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredibly helpful. Thank you. Absolutely.
Can I have a hug too?